Hello and welcome to the last December of the year. December? Hello and welcome to the last haul of the year for December 2022. It's the last December of the year too, but anyway, let's get on with the haul. And this month I have 17 volumes along with some DVDs, Blu-rays, stuff. Anyway, first up I have the Violet Evergarden, the movie Blu-ray. I have seen this before, but it recently came out on Blu-ray. It was on Netflix. I think it's still on Netflix. But I watched it when it first came out, and I liked it, so I got the Blu-ray. I haven't got the spin-off yet, because I think that one's just come out in regular edition recently. So I probably will be picking that one up at some point. This is the secret to the series, so if you like the series, obviously, you're going to want to be watching this film. And then I have the Fruits Basket prelude movie, and this adapts the arc of the manga about Toru's parents, which I enjoyed that arc in the manga, and I enjoyed it in film form too. So this, again, was enjoyable. The first, half an hour is just, recap, but you could just skip over that. And then we get into the prelude story, and then the little epilogue, and yeah, I really enjoyed this because it's Fruits Basket, so if it's Fruits Basket, I'm going to enjoy it. And then, moving on to more Fruits Basket, I have Season 3 Collector's Edition. So the final season. And this comes with a bunch of Collector's Edition stuff. So if you open it up, there's a bunch of nice in here. First up, I have the final 3 paperweight stones, which I was missing in this box. There we go. Just put that back in there. It just slides in. So here we have the cat, the dog, and the ball. I finally have all of these now. I've enjoyed collecting them. There's also this skishi, which wasn't actually listed in the contents of the box, so I'm guessing this must be like a pre-order bonus or something, but it has a printed autograph on the back, but I'm not sure what it says because I'm bad at reading joined up writing. But I'm going to display this on my shelf probably. Then we have the art book, which has some art from the anime in there, along with some character profiles, which is very cool. Anything Fruits Basket is very cool. And then it also came with a couple of art cards. And then Season 3 itself. I'm taking this out of here because I do have the box that came with the collector's edition of Season 2, which I can store all this in. But yeah, there's Akito on the front, and that is the final season. Yeah, I will just close up the box and move it out the way. This bit is kind of coming off, but I think it's supposed to. Put that over there next to me. Okay, now moving on to the manga. So first up, I have Seaside Stranger Volume 5, Volume 5, and I read this 2 days ago. Yeah, I read this 2 days ago, and I actually like this volume a lot more than I liked Volume 4. Volume 4 was a bit jumpy and a bit messy, but this volume was a lot better. We've had a 5-year time skip as this volume, and I actually really enjoyed it. So that's Seaside Stranger, Volume 5. But yeah, if you also weren't that keen on Volume 4, we'll definitely keep going, because Volume 5 is better. I don't know when Volume 6 comes out, though. Next, I haven't read this one yet. It's Here with the Outcast, Volume 6. I'm still continuing on with this. I think it's only 9 volumes. Possibly 8. It's not very long of a series, anyway. It's a series about Wisteria, who is a girl who teamed up with a demon called Morbus, and they're, journeying together to try and find their place in the world, and they also come across other people who are contracted with demons, such as Morbus. No, not Morbus, his name is Morbus. what's the guy's name? Niberius and his like contractor. Yeah, it's a decent series, and I'm gonna finish it. Next up, I have I Can't Reach You, Volume 5. And this is a BL series that I really enjoy. It's like childhood friends. These two have been friends since they were little, and Yamato has always had feelings for, what's his name? Kakeru. But he hasn't been able to tell Kakeru because obviously he doesn't know whether Kakeru likes him back, and then Kakeru kind of starts to maybe think that he has feelings for him, and yeah. It's a good sweet BL, it's a very cute one. And I do enjoy it. Again, I haven't read this one yet, but I do like this series. Next I have Hirono and Kagerua, something like that. But this is a spin-off series to Sasaki Maino about Sasaki's friend, the blonde guy, and his roommate, this guy here. And yeah, so the roommate here, he is like a first year, he's like a third year, and he recently became his roommate, and he likes him, but he's not sure whether he likes him back. So yeah, if you like Sasaki and Rhino, this one's a spin-off. And as you may be able to see, I'm actually currently almost halfway through reading this one. So yeah, that is Hirono and Kagerua. And Rowan has seemed to come to join us. Next up, I have Love in Focus by Yoko Nogiri. This is my first Yoko Nogiri work. My sister got me this one for Christmas. I'm yet to read it. But yeah, I haven't read any of Yoko Nogiri's other works, like That Wolf Boy Is Mine and Those Not So Sweet Boys, but if I enjoyed this one, I'm probably going to end up picking some of those up. This is the complete omnibus. This is a shoujo high school romance about a girl who is into photography, and I'm pretty sure this guy is a childhood friend, and this guy she meets on the photography club or something. Maiko's always had a passion for photography. When she loses someone dear to her, she clings to her art as a relic of the once close relationship she once had. Luckily, her childhood best friend Kai encourages her to come to his high school and join their prestigious photo club. With nothing to lose, Maiko grabs her camera and moves into the dorm, where Kai and his classmates live. Soon a fresh take on life, along with a mysterious new muse, begin to come into focus. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she's using him as a model, like, to take pictures of. And this guy with the blonde hair is a childhood friend. Yeah, I'm going to be checking this one out soon. That is Love and Focus. Next, I have Love to K Volume 6, one of my favourite series, but I'm yet to read this volume. I don't know why. It's usually, like, one of the first ones I pick up, but I haven't got round to this one yet. But Love to K is a great shoujo comedy romance. And I talk about this one a lot. With Eri and, what's his face again? This is Kaname on the back, but Ome? Ome. Yeah. This is a great shoujo comedy one. Highly love this one a lot. This won my favourite read of the year. So yeah, Love to K. Next up I have 7 and 8 of Vampire Dormitory. I didn't realise that 7 was out, and by the time I realised 7 was out, 8 was also out, so I grabbed them both. This is a very trashy series. The writing's not good, but it is enjoyable trashy, unlike another series that's just later on in this pile. But yeah, the art style is very nice, but it's a vampire series, and again, it's quite trashy, but it's enjoyable. Sometimes you just need a bit of a trashy read to like once in a while, instead of like all the heavy reads. You can just read something that's just a bit fun and trashy and not great. But yeah, I like Vampire Dormitory. Obviously she is dressed as a boy in order to live on the streets, because she doesn't feel safe living on the streets as a girl, because her family kicked her out. and then she's found by this guy who is a vampire, and he thinks that she is a boy, so invites her to live in the boys' dorms with him at his school, and as his, like, he drinks her blood, but her blood tastes horrible because she's unloved, and only people who are loved have nice tasting blood, so he's gonna try to make her blood taste nicer by, like, giving her affection and stuff, and it's trash, but it's good. Next up, my niece got me this one for Christmas, and that is Skip Beat, the complete first 3 volumes. I recently rewatched the anime for Skip Beat in dub, because previously I'd only seen it subtitled. I'm not great with subtitles. So I've watched it again in dub recently, and really, really liked it more than I did the first time. So I just decided that I wanted to try reading the manga, and then my niece got it for me. And this is the first 3 volumes. If you don't know what Skip Beat is, it's like one of the most like famous shoujo series. It's about a girl, Kyoko, who she's living in the city with her boyfriend Sho, and then she finds out that Sho is actually a dickwad, and therefore she breaks up with him and swears to get revenge on him because he's a singer, he's very famous, and she swears to get revenge on him by becoming even more famous than he is by entering the acting world. So this is her journey to entering the acting world and becoming an actor that can get revenge on Sho. And there she also meets Ren Suruga, who is another actor, and I can't find him. Is that him? No, that's not him. That's him. Yeah, really looking forward to reading this. I think from skimming this one, it goes up to the part in the anime where she's with the little girl and trying to get her to reconnect with her father. Isn't that right? Next up I have one of my favourite shonen series, and that is South at the End, Volume 25. Love this series so much. We are currently in an arc where Yu is trying to get a demon Mika inside of him so they can continue on with their plan. So yeah, South at the End is great. It's more vampires. This is Volume 25. I've explained this series quite a few times already, but yeah, this is a good one. If you like vampire action shonen series, maybe give this one a try. Each volume comes with a mini poster, but I take them out because I like to display them in a book. So it used to be in there. No, I have read this volume. It is a good volume. Things are happening with the first, and the vampires, and stuff's going down. Next up I have Rosenblood, which is the one I was talking about, which is trash, but not in the good way, because this is confusing. And no, they're not the best characters, and the art's nice. It's only 5 volumes, so I'm going to finish it. I might as well get the last volume and read the last volume, see how it ends. But it's probably going to shoot right out of my collection soon after, because I don't really want to keep this around when it's really not all that great. But I need to know how it ends regardless, because I don't like this series, but I want to know the ending, so I'm going to know the ending. Anyway, yeah, the art's great. So if this artist hired somebody to write the stories for her, then that would probably be a very good series. Yeah, that's Rosenblood. It's another vampire series about, I can't remember her name. Stella wakes up in a mansion with vampire guys, and they're all kind of dicks, but we have that. Next up, I have Utsatoki Rhetoric, which is a new mystery shoujo series that has just released recently from One Piece books. I haven't read this one yet, but I'm looking forward to it. It takes place in 1926, and we follow this girl here who can hear lies. So when someone tells a lie, she can hear them tell the lie. Which everyone can hear people tell lies, they just don't know it's a lie, but she can tell when something's a lie or not because it sounds a certain way to her. And she teams up with a detective who is a poverty-stricken detective, and then they go off to solve mysteries together because her ability to hear eyes is very useful to him being a detective. And as I say, I haven't read this one yet, so I don't know that much about it, but I am looking forward to this one. I've heard good things. And next up I have I'll Never Be Your Crown Princess Volume 2. I'm not going to open this one because who knows what page I'm going to end up on. And this is the next volume in the Steamship series. I'm gonna keep correcting Steamship series to support more Smutty Josei coming out. But yeah, I do enjoy this one. It's about a girl. She is engaged to the Crown Prince, but she doesn't want to marry him, so she finds out that he'll only marry a virgin. So she goes off to this party, a masked ball, to have sex with someone, so she's no longer a virgin, so he'll no longer marry her. But the guy she ends up having sex with at the party turns out to be the Crown Prince. So yeah, now she still has to marry him. But she's not all that happy about it. I enjoyed this one. And we have Outbride, Beauty and the Beast Volume 2. Again, this is Steamship. This one is probably the least good Steamship title. I still enjoy it though. I don't hate it. Anyway, again, I haven't read this volume yet, but we have this girl who wakes up in the future of this world where beast men are around, and they need a human woman to have their children, so their children can be powerful enough to defeat this mighty evil that's gonna wake up. But she's the last human woman left alive. We have beast women such as her, but we don't have any human women other than her. So now they're all like forming a queue in order to have children with her. And like she gets to pick who she has kids with first, basically, but she doesn't really like any of them right now, of course, because she's just woken up in an unfamiliar place with all these dudes trying to impregnate her. So next up we have In the Korean Room at Dusk Volume 1, and I really love this one. I read this one recently. This is Mika Yamamori, same author as Tsubaki Childhood Planet, and I really enjoyed this one. This one was very good. We followed this androgynous girl here called Takaguchi. She looks kind of like a boy, and people at the school mistake her for a boy and call her the prince and stuff. But she meets this guy here who's also known as the second prince of the school, and he's the first person to really treat her like a princess rather than a prince. And he comes up to her saying, like, I really like you, and she's unsure of him at first because she's not used to talking to boys, because usually she hangs around with girls because all the girls think of her as a prince and stuff. And I really love this one. It's great. It's fantastic. And now I really want to read Daytime Shooting Star by the same author, because I did enjoy Tsubaki Chow as well, so I'll probably enjoy that one too. Next up is My Happy Marriage, Volume 3. This is the light novel. I enjoyed this light novel. I liked the first two. And I haven't read this one yet because I'm slow when it comes to books. I can only read, unlike with manga where I can go from one series to another, with books I have to finish what I'm reading before I can read something else. So I can't actually read this one yet, but I do really love this series. And I read the manga too, and I'm looking forward to volume 2 of the manga. Yeah, My Happy Marriage is about Miho. Is it Miho? Mio, yeah. And she's treated poorly by her family. They basically treat her like a servant, and then one day she's told she has to marry the head of the Kudo family, who is like a powerful magic user, and she's like heard him to be a very cold, menacing person, but she goes to his house and he's kind of not what she expected him to be, and it's the start of like their life together and their relationship, and it's really good. There's also some supernatural fantasy elements to this too. They start to come into play more in the second volume. And last up I have Junji Ito's Black Paradox. This is a short story. It's one story, it's not multiple, about a group of 4 people who meet up on a suicide website known as Black Paradox. So they 4 come together to like do a group suicide, but then strange things happen, and balls come out of this guy and they want to sell them to make money, and it's weird, but that's Junji Ito for you. It's not my favourite story by Junji Ito, but I did like it more than like The Liminal Zone and Ramina. I think my favourite parts of Junji Ito are his short stories, like the chapter long stories, but I did enjoy this one, but it's not as good as like some of his short works or like Toei and Uzumaki Cow, stuff like that. But I did like this one. And of course it has that Junji Ito weirdness that everyone knows Junji Ito for. Plop. And that is it for this month and also this year, because it's New Year's Eve today and it'll be 2023 tomorrow. Depending when you're watching this, it might already be 2023, but yeah, I've got some videos maybe planned for next year, probably, possibly. I'm still trying to think of stuff I could do, but I was thinking that it's been quite a while, maybe like 2 years since I last did a room tour video, so if anyone's interested in that, I might do that. Also hauls, obviously, and I'll try think of other stuff that I could possibly do. So we'll see what will be coming in the next year. Right, Rowan? Right. You're badgy. Oh, yes, I am. Anyway, that is it for this video and the year, so I'll see you next time, and bye!